Former President Trump surrendered to authorities in a Miami courthouse this afternoon to be arraigned in the classified documents case. Our next guest knows a thing or two about this subject. Charles McCullough is a former Inspector General of the intelligence community, or their big watchdog in essence, a former FBI special agent as well, and a current partner at Compass Rose Legal Group, PLLC. Good to see you. Thank you for being here on a day like today, because you have unique insight and experience into what's going on here, and especially the content of the material that he was alleged to have been mishandling down at Mar-a-Lago. What type of information, remind us, was in these classified or top secret documents that caused so much alarm for the intelligence community?
Well, things are classified based upon the possibility that if they're released, there's possible harm to the government. So these were documents, anything that is secret, top secret, or above top secret SCI is going to possibly cause harm to the national security if it's released. So these were all national defense documents, DOD documents. There's been reports of military plans in there that these documents were clearly classified.
And we remember that there was at least one person who was alleged to be a Chinese official who had gotten onto the campus there in Palm Beach, and so there was concern that foreign nationals may have been trying to find this information and get to it. That's part of the big concern here, obviously.
That's the concern altogether with classified documents, is that you need to keep them in a SCIF, a sensitive compartmented information facility. That's the way they're stored. And they weren't. They were down there in boxes. Now, if in the former president's defense, there's no report, I don't believe, that there was an actual compromise here.
Exactly.
But certainly there was the possibility of compromise, and that's what everyone worries about.
Right. And who knows, over the course of this, it may be revealed that somebody did try. Certainly if they have as much documentation and imagery of where it was, one wonders if they saw who was being able to get to it.
Well, and that's what you do a damage assessment for. And someone should be, or probably has already done that, either the ODNI or the FBI, but that is what you look at. And you may never know whether or not there's actually been a compromise.
Right.
Is the problem.
Part of the reason why I'm glad you're here is because you had involvement in the classified information issue around Hillary Clinton as well.
I did.
And this, of course, is now the big political argument, at least. Well, she did it with her computer in her house in the Hudson Valley in New York. She didn't get charged. How's that any different from what he's up to in Florida and alleged to have done?
There are parallels here. There's no denying that. And I think it appears to be disparate treatment until you consider that prosecutorial discretion is exercised on a case-by-case basis. So you have to look at each case individually. Mrs. Clinton didn't get prosecuted. Mr. Trump is indicted. But that's not really going to help his defense. That'll help him politically, that argument. But the legal defense saying that she did it too and she didn't get in trouble isn't really going to be of a whole lot of merit to him legally in a federal courtroom.
Yeah. And remind us, it was that you helped discover that she had it?
Well, I was the Intelligence Community Inspector General at the time, and my office initially discovered the documents and did the analysis. And then we worked in conjunction with the FBI.
And I mean, and this is part of what they allege, is that, well, she didn't hand it over either. They were trying to destroy all of her materials. When they broadly say that, his supporters. Is that true?
There is ample evidence of obstructive behavior in the Clinton case. When you hear people talking about SIM cards and hammers and programs like BleachBit, there is certainly ample evidence of that. But again, that's not really going to help the former president in his plight right now. I don't see, as a legal matter, how what about her-ism really helps him at this point.
Right, and that's important, I think, for everybody to remember as this goes forward. There will be the legal arguments made in a courtroom.
Exactly.
The political argument we see on television or on the stump is separate and divorced from all that, and ultimately focus on the legal fight, because that's what he faces.
That's correct.
All right. Charles McCullough, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Ed.